Hey guys, if you read the title, then you guessed right, and today I'll be talking about God, God, God. And, if you want to learn the stuff that they don't teach you in churches, then stay tuned. I started something a few minutes ago. I mean, I've done it like a lot, but for the videos I've started trying to write down my thoughts, and so I'm going to have a pen and paper here that I'll be looking at while I talk to you guys, and it's going to help me think a little more clearly and stuff, so I can tell you guys what's going on. But I wanted to talk about God today because so often I hear people say that if God exists, why didn't He stop some kind of tragedy that happened or something terrible that occurred? Why didn't He prevent those things from happening? And they point out these ideas as if they're proof that God doesn't exist. Well, when God first made us, according to the Bible, according to the story of Adam and Eve in Genesis, He made us from dirt. He made Adam and Eve from dirt, and the first things He gave to them was free will. He told them that they weren't allowed to go to that tree, that they end up eating the apples or the fruit, the forbidden fruit. They weren't allowed to go to the tree. That's what He told them. But He didn't prevent them from physically being able to do it. He gave them the free will to choose, and the serpent ended up tricking them, and then they go to the tree, and they eat the fruit, and then they know everything now, and now they're embarrassed that they're naked, and then the story goes on. But the first key thing that He ever gave us was that one flaw. He gave us our choice. And I'm not saying it's wrong to have a choice. I'm pointing out that He didn't make us robots where we're perfect. He didn't make us these beings or human beings that have nothing wrong with them. He gave us the choice to choose between the right thing or the wrong thing, or the right decision or the wrong decision, or a good choice or a bad choice. He gave us that choice, or two good choices or two bad choices. He gave us that free will to have that middle ground where we weren't forced to follow some storyline. We weren't forced to follow a way to do things. We kind of got to make our own way. And that was from the very start, and from the very start, we made our own way with Adam and Eve, right? Well, that's one of the things that people like to talk about is that, if God was here, why didn't He prevent a mass murder? A bunch of people dying when they didn't deserve it, and they were innocent, they were good people, and that may have been true. Maybe all those people are good people, and now they're going to heaven because they died before their time, or they died at their time. Regardless, that person who, say, did the mass murder had that free will. He had that choice, and that choice was given to him. We all have that choice. When a cop shoots someone, say a mass murderer, and prevents him from doing those things and prevents him from killing people, he had the choice to do that. He chose to become the hero. Just like people can choose to be the villain and choose to make other lives miserable. And then the weather. God made the earth to sustain itself. Why do you think He doesn't get involved in all these things? Because it runs on its own. That's what science has proved. I mean, even before we were here, it was running on its own. It's gone on with or without us. So He doesn't interfere with the weather, and He doesn't stop terrible earthquakes or volcanoes or hurricanes or tornadoes or tsunamis or anything that might be catastrophic to us, because that's a part of the weather cycle. That results halfway. I'm sorry, I'll slow down. Half of the time that comes from us, because we mess with things in the environment and we cause it to get worse or to get better, and so we cause changes, right? That's half the time. The other half of the time is just environmental differences, things that change in the environment due to whatever reason they changed, not necessarily meaning that He had a hand in it or not. Another thing that people like to say is, it's pretty direct, it's to the point. It's like, if your God's real, where is He? Why don't I see Him? Why can't I find proof of Him in anything? And I think that's because people aren't looking. Their eyes are shut. And I don't mean literally, obviously. If you're watching this video, then you clearly see me and your eyes are wide open. But maybe if you think like those people I quoted, then maybe your mind's closed. Maybe your thoughts are shut out to the possibility of anything else. What I always like to point out, and it's not to pick at anyone. It's just to kind of, I dropped my pen, it's just to kind of get an idea for the way I think about it, is if, say a Wiccan, you know, believes in 30 different gods, right? Smaller deities, you know? And then they don't believe in my God, or Allah, or Jehovah, or the God, you know, a monotheistic version God, right? Why are they able to believe in one thing, like 30 gods, and not another? You know, that's kind of the idea with the closed mind, is you can believe one way and only that way, yet you can't be open to any other view. Because I believe in God, and I believe in the possibility of everything else. I believe in the possibility of astrology. I believe in the possibility of Hinduism, Buddhism, that one I did the other video on, Satanism. I believe in all of the possibilities for these things because they could all be real. Demons, angels, spirits, giants, dragons, everything that you could think could be possible. Well, if I'm going to believe in a God that can create everything, which I bet you I've said this before in a video, but that can create everything in the world, you know, make everything, and made us from dirt from the beginning, you know, if I could believe in someone that was that powerful or that magical, then who's to say nothing else exists? You know, who's to say fairies don't exist, or Santa doesn't exist, or, you know, I know I've quoted stuff like this before, but that's that same point, is you got to keep your mind open if you ever really want to learn something of real significance. And that's my opinion of it, and that's because that's what I see around in the world. And I'll go into more detail on it in other videos if you guys want. And if you want me to talk about these things in specific detail, always feel free to comment. Half the time I'm not sure what to you know, share with you guys, so I kind of like, I jot down my ideas and then I kind of like put it together from there. I think I covered everything with this one, though. You know, I think the reason I wanted to bring up God is because I brought up Satanism, so I kind of brought up the two guys, one and then the other, and I thought that was fitting. And yeah, I totally believe in God. I believe He's real. I believe He exists. I believe He saved us. You know, I believe, that's my personal belief. It doesn't really matter or pertain to you guys, but, you know, I believe in Him and everything else that could exist out there. You know, I just accept Him over the others. But I just think that if anyone wants to really learn something when they're watching things or they're looking at life, the first step is just opening up your mind. You know, keep your thoughts open. Keep the possibility open. Because if you keep the possibility open, opportunities will find their way in, and your thoughts will change. And it's not mind control. It's not manipulation. It's just your views and your opinions change because your brain is so smart that you can learn to accept and let go of different things based on your rationalization of them, you know? And I just want to share all that with you guys. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. You're all awesome and all beautiful, and I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.